Hey there, Kelly here. This video is being done in response to a video that was done by a couple of YouTubers. One, her name is Brittany Lee, and the other one is Osa. I hope I'm saying her name the correct way. They did a video that was titled, Why Black Women Don't Support Each Other. And I thought it was compelling. I'll be perfectly honest with you. When I first saw the length of time, which is about 20 minutes of the video, I was like, oh, that's too long. I don't really want to watch that. But the longer I was more, the more I watched, the more engaged I was. And I was like, yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. So I felt like I needed to come over and add my 2 cents worth to the topic for a couple of reasons. One, there was something that was said that I kind of want to expand on that I did not necessarily agree with. But then also the other reason I wanted to add to this is because these two young ladies are from Europe, and they, mention a few times the U.S., but because they don't live here, they don't have the intimate knowledge of what's going on this side of the pond that I would happen to have. So in the video, it was mentioned that part of the reason that it is believed that black women do not support one another comes from a slave mentality. And that one I have to disagree with, because during slavery, everybody worked in the fields together. They had to support one another. A lot of times that was the only way they got to eat. They had to band together for the scraps that we were given. And so men and women at that point in time really did work together. If you look back on history of the U.S., I think that the lack of support that we give one another in the black community, I'm going to say that's actually more recent than coming from a history of slavery. Because even if you look back at the civil rights movement, black people banded together. And when we banded together, man, baby, were we a freaking force of nature. That's how we got our rights. That's how we got to the point where we could have the nerve not to support one another, because we can now mingle in communities that we were not able to mingle in before. So the slavery side of that I disagree with. Pretty much everything else these young ladies had to say, I was down for 1,000%. They were dead on point, and I can't tell you how many times I was just like, oh yeah. They mentioned the color line as well, and that bleaching is more prevalent here in the U.S. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know that. I like my skin color. Years and years ago, I wanted to model, and I remember going into a modeling agency and being told, we already have one that looks like you. And that meant they had a black girl, and that just wasn't cool. It wasn't cute. And you would think that hearing something like that would just totally step all over your confidence. But I tell people I am confident just to the inside border of arrogance. And I also think that that plays a big factor in whether or not we will lend support to one another. I think that if you are an insecure person, or if you don't feel good about yourself, it's hard for you to help someone else feel good about themselves. It's hard for you to lend support for their success when you feel like you're lacking for yourself. But let me tell you something, and this is just the way that I see it, and maybe it's because, again, I'm very confident. You're perfect, whether you realize it or not. And so because you're perfect, you should have no problem supporting someone else. And what I mean when I say that you're perfect, you look at your iPhone if you have one, and they've got the iPhone 6, which means there were 5 other versions before they got to number 6. If you are a PC person and you're, I don't know if you're getting bombarded with it like I am, Windows 10, which means there were 9 other versions before they got to Windows 10. How many versions of you are there? 1. That's it. And that's because God did not make a mistake. You are looking at these other women and you're potentially comparing yourself, so you don't want to lend support to these women. And one of the things that they said in the video that I loved is comparison is the thief of joy. You are never going to look like whoever it is that you're trying to look like if it's not you. And that is the thing. We need to learn to embrace the skin we're in. It doesn't matter if it's as black as night or if it's as white as day. We need to learn to embrace what we are, because what we are, we still have a lot to bring to the table. As women, we are powerful people, and we really should support one another. I'll be honest with you, I found these young ladies on YouTube because I was specifically searching for chocolate divas, and that's not what I put in my search when I was looking for it, but that's what I was looking for. I was looking for black girls to watch their videos, to support. I don't always comment. I'm learning, I'm getting better at that, you know, but I want to look at people that look like me. I'm just going to be honest with you. I want to learn makeup and YouTube and Instagram and all those things from people who look like me. And not because I'm taking anything away from the other young ladies, but you know, today I got on blue eyeshadow. I don't wear blue eyeshadow. Blue eyeshadow looks different on me than it's going to look on someone that's a much lighter complexion than I am. So I look for women that have similar skin tones, or that could potentially have similar issues, style wise, makeup wise, whatever the case may be, so that I can support them. And not because I want anything in return, but what is wrong with supporting them? What is wrong with saying, you do this well, you do a great job at this, and I want to learn from you. I want to understand what you're doing and how you got there. And until we are able to band together and really do that, what's it? United we stand, divided we fall. None of us will ever truly be successful as long as we are busy kicking our sister in the back. And that's just my 2 cents worth. I'm going to link to these two young ladies because I thought that what they had to say was awesome. And again, I just had to add my little 2 cents worth to it. And I hope that you guys will check out their videos. And more importantly, I hope that you will support them. I signed on and added and followed wherever. If they had Twitter, if they had Instagram, whatever they had. The only thing I don't do is Snapchat. But if I could follow them, if I could subscribe, I did. And I do hope that you will do the same. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Ciao.